I don't think that capitalism meets people's needs. I think that it actually works best when it appears that people's needs are being met, but people's needs are actually continually going unmet. When you meet people's needs directly, it's actually really bad for capitalism. That's why we have trouble solving a lot of the social problems that require us to just meet people's needs, like healthcare or people with disabilities or people who need housing. Just meet people's needs. Don't try to work this into the game where we all work as hard as we can to seem like we're meeting our needs. And they've gotten better and better over time at structuring it so that we feel like moment to moment we're meeting our needs. Like all these subscription services and people having to pay monthly rent instead of owning their homes. More and more just a constant output of capital in which we all have to kind of monetize every corner of our lives. People not having their needs met drives so many of our social problems: mental health crisis, gun violence stuff, xenophobia and white supremacy. How many issues do we have where people's needs are not getting met and they want to point the finger at something as being the problem for their needs not getting met, when the problem really is that their needs just aren't getting met because capitalism is designed that way? Can you imagine if we were designing the system today and instead of meeting people's needs, we said, okay, now we have to work it into this game? An outsider who had never heard of capitalism would have been like, wait, why don't you just get together and figure out how to solve this issue? Why do you have to work it into this weird game you're playing? And we would be like, oh, well, because you have to make more money so that the economy can keep going and like the stock market can keep going. It reminds me of a video someone made where it was the apocalypse and someone was like, oh no, who's going to be the project manager? A lot of the jobs in our economy are to dig holes and fill them back in. The thing is, I think that if you play this game long enough, it just eats itself anyway, because you can't go that long not actually meeting people's needs. Eventually you have pillaged everyone's energy and health and bodily capability to continue to play the game. And in the end, you have to meet people's needs anyway. I think that we need to be redesigning our system, looking at how to directly meet people's needs. And if we do that, the economy will operate terribly. It will not work within the system of capitalism. Partly because of usury. A lot of the problems with capitalism that we have today are because credit requires more and more growth and more payback of the old credit. Money doesn't have to work like that. There's a really good book, Sacred Economics, that I read a long time ago. I should read it again. But those are my thoughts for today.